Next of my DVD update series. This is the first one where I've profiled a release that just came out for Doctor Who, and this is the re-release of the Key to Time Special Edition. There we go. So side by side, what I have here is the two releases of this six-part sort of season-long story arc. From the 1978 season. I'm pretty sure I was 78. Yep, September 1978 to February 1979. So, we'll start with the original release. So, back in 2002, the Doctor Who range was fairly new. Had only been around, well, the first releases came out in September 2001, and they were looking for a way, was Warner Brothers, which at the time was releasing them in North America. Now I believe the distribution deal is still with Warner Brothers, although don't quote me on that. But in 2002 they were looking for a way to attract interest to the Doctor Who DVD series in North America, and the idea that they came up with was, okay, we'll release an entire set. No, up until that point, and ever since then, the releases have always been released in the UK in Region 2 first, and then in Region 1. Although at the time, box sets were not that common, although they were starting to catch on in North America, but they were not that common in Region 2. So there was no real incentive there for them to release this, although I believe it was Warner went to BBC and stated, well, okay, they got permission essentially to release this one season. This was a one-time thing, so they could get Doctor Who into the stores on DVD, because a lot of them weren't even carrying them at that point, because all that was coming out was single releases. Although this did what it was supposed to do. The sales were, I think, what they had expected. In fact, I think even slightly exceeded what they had expected. It came out in October 2002. I bought this in December 2002, and back then I wasn't buying every Doctor Who release. Actually, it took me a while to decide if I was going to buy this, because it was retailing for $100 at the time. But I decided to, and I think it was worth the money, although that price was... Actually, to be honest, it was kind of in line with what I was paying. At the time, I was buying the Star Trek box sets. I think the only other ones that I had at that time were the X-Files, and they cost a small fortune when they came out. So picked it up, and when you compare this to the current release, the one that came out this week, or the reissue, you can see how much the range has changed, or in some ways not changed, over the course of the last, well, been 7 years or so, or maybe 6.5, something like that. I don't know, I've never been good at math. But in terms of the episodes themselves, I had been under the impression that there hadn't been any work done by the Doctor Who restoration team on that, but I've been corrected by that from a few sources, and there was minimal restoration work done, but that was about it. In terms of special features, which actually the Doctor Who series is now known for the special features they pack onto the releases. Back in 2002, even the UK releases of special features were very limited. And here DVD extras include, or it should say DVD extras are, mainly commentaries, and commentaries are pretty much standard on all Doctor Who releases. In fact, I think to date every set that's come out has had them, although I don't really have time to sit through all the documentary or the commentaries. So if there's one that I really want to listen to, then I'll give it a shot. So we go through that. This came out in Region 2 in late 2007. So this was, I guess you could say, the official restoration team edition of Doctor Who, Key to Time. So this, it has had restoration work done. I haven't actually done any comparisons between the two of them. It's actually the last time I watched this set, I was still using a tube television, which I no longer have, but at some point I will compare the two of them back and forth and see if there is a noticeable difference, because the quality actually was pretty good on the original set. But with this one, so the same 6 stories all over again. But the big advantage, and this shows you how the range has changed and also what gets done in the UK, is the amount of special features. DVD features include, I think there's something like 450 minutes worth of extras on here, including the commentaries, which some of them are new. Actually, I'm not sure if they're all new. I have to check that. I think 3 of them are new and 3 of them were reused, but I might be wrong on that, and I'll correct that if I am. Alright, so a ton of features, even on the first. I've only had time to watch the previews on the first day. Well, I've seen what was on there while I was taking a break earlier on today from work, and had an hour-long documentary on Graham Williams' time as Doctor Who, plus another documentary on the story, and then usual small releases. Now, the one thing that this release had that is not on the new releases is in Region 1 they used to have this feature called Who's Who. It would give you background on all the actors in it. Those are on that, although it was about 4 years ago now they stopped including those in Region 2, so that's the one thing that's missing on this set right here. And obviously the packaging is different. Back when this came out, well, major releases like Star Trek and X-Files and whatnot came out in digipacks. It wasn't that uncommon to find full series in separate cases like that. And of course the completists would prefer this because they can have each episode separately on their shelf. Now from 2002 to 2009 things have changed. This has been re-released in the digipack. Although I should note that each of these releases are available separately in separate cases. The first 5 are single disc releases with special features, and the final one, the Armageddon Factor, is a double disc set, and this one includes 7 CDs. So, now I'm not, like I said, I haven't had much of a chance to look at it. In terms of artwork, the artwork on the original set was, well, kind of hideous. Actually, it's the specific stories inside there. Just give me a sec, I'll take them out. This was the worst artwork, or this is the worst artwork ever released for any Doctor Who releases. Screen captures just thrown on there at random. And if you watch my earlier videos, especially with some of the newer releases, quality, it's not even worth comparing them. These covers were, well, crap. But it was better than nothing, and for the longest time we could claim in Region 1 that we had something that Region 2 did not have, although that's been over for a while. And Region 2 still has Doctor Who the movie, which because of rights issues will probably never see the light of day in Region 1, but I'm still holding out hope. Then here's the artwork on the new set. Now the individual cases, if we had them, which we don't, because this is the digipack, are fairly decent. I'd recommend looking them up on Amazon. Re-release also comes with a small booklet which gives you the extras. Like, look at those extra packages. Tell me that's not impressive. Although the one thing that I wish they would have included in here is at least pictures or something of the individual release cases, but oh well, I guess you can't have everything. So that is Doctor Who Key to Time re-release. I'll be back fairly soon with more DVD releases, and thank you very much to everyone who is watching. Goodbye.